Hello. How is everyone doing? We're just soon. We've got about half an hour until the FPL Game Week 20 deadline. I hope everyone is looking forward to this Game Week 20. I know for sure I am looking forward to it after what was a pretty abysmal. Every time I catch myself out on the reverb. But yeah, I hope everyone is looking forward to Game Week 20. I know I definitely am. Although some injury news has taken a bit of a shock to my team, which I'll move on to my team in a second. Quickly, Gus, if you're there, Son or Saka on the bench? For me, I'm always going to be looking to play the premium option. Out of those two, Saka has looked very good of late, so definitely potential to start him maybe over a different player in your team. But I think for me, I'd always be starting Son. And in the reverse fixture, Son did end up actually scoring against Liverpool, so I think that Son is a fine player for this week, and definitely not someone I'd be looking to bench. Now let me move on here into my team. And this is what I have. This is what I have for the game week. Not looking too great at the minute. The yellow flag on Rashford has now disappeared though. So Rashford is available for the Sheffield game and hopefully would be playing. Would Kevin want to come in with it? Would you start Bednarak or Bellerin? Really struggling with it. Yeah, I can understand your struggles there, Kevin, because it looks as though, although Southampton have been very, very good defensively over the past few weeks, it seems as though Kyle Walker-Peters and Bertrand are both out for Southampton. So will that mean will they be as defensively good? Obviously, Bednarak and Stevens at the back have been very good. Aubameyang now out for Arsenal, so it seems like both Southampton and Arsenal don't have a few players out. Sorry, so I genuinely think this game is going to be a draw. Could even be a 0-0. I think that Bellerin offers a little bit more attacking threat, so I would definitely lean towards Bellerin, as I can see Arsenal scoring in this game, because as I say, Southampton are missing their two fullbacks. It's a tough one, but I think my gut in that situation would be to go for Bellerin. Obviously, you go with your gut. If you think that Bednarak is going to do better, pick Bednarak. The way I always say to truly know, flip a coin and say Bednarak on heads, Bellerin on tails, whichever one it lands on, you'll know which one you really want to go for. So maybe do that if you're really, really struggling 50-50. Then maybe just flip a coin. Would you play Chilwell at the back or play Harvey Barnes? It's an interesting one because we don't really know what's going to be happening with Chelsea. I try and stay reasonably clear of Chelsea assets for now. And obviously Harvey Barnes has looked very good, and I personally am one to always I advise go for the attackers. I don't always follow my own rules, to my own detriment, to be fair, to my own detriment. But yeah, out of the two, I'd expect to see Harvey Barnes return more than Chilwell, more often than not. Although Chilwell is a very good kind of attacking fullback, could easily get an assist and a potential clean sheet. So I can see your dilemma there, but I'd lean towards the Harvey Barnes pick. Benching Soufal, nice. And well, I mean, I would rather not play Soufal. Liam, obviously playing against Palace, but as you see, Jamie Vardy, I haven't made a transfer out for him, so Soufal will definitely be coming off of my bench to actually play. Although I think I would still rather 1-0 Palace for every possible reason, because Mitchell would get the clean sheet, and it benefits me more if Mitchell gets the clean sheet than if Soufal gets the clean sheet. I'm tempted. Here's the move I'm tempted with, guys. Let me know if you think it's a good decision. -4, Jamie Vardy out for Anthony Martial. Now, my thinking behind this, Sheffield United look terrible this season. They've lost Egan. He's out because of yellow cards. And apparently, Wilder's come out and said that about half of their starting 11 players are injured, are unavailable for this game. So we could see an absolute mauling from Manchester United. My only thinking is, with not bringing them in, if I take a -4, which it would be, I would have to take a Martial would have to score for me to break even. As simple as that, because Soufal will play. And then if Kufal ends up getting an attacking return or a clean sheet, which isn't particularly unlikely, then Martial would have to score twice just for me to break even and not really even gain any points. So that's my kind of thinking for not taking the -4, and especially now that Rashford looks likely to play. I think I'm just going to hold on to Rashford and, accept Sufal off of the bench and Dies there if I need him as well. A couple more comments in. Ishan says Martinez, Diaz, Stones, and Wan-Bissaka, Foden, captain. Whoa. Bruno, vice-captain. Firstly, I mean, if that's what you guys telling you, if that's what you want to punt on, you go for it. Basically today, I'm going to be advising everyone, Captain Bruno Fernandes. It's a safe pick, it's non-maverick, but it's a very, very good pick. I think that's what people who are not picking Bruno Fernandes are kind of missing out on, is like, you're trying to be a little bit different from the curve. Bruno Fernandes is a safe pick, but he's also an astounding pick for this week with how Sheffield United look like they're going to line up. And you've also got Son, Salah, Souček, Bamford, Antonio. Thoughts? I mean, yeah, I think it's a good team. The Foden captain, for me, is a little bit too brave. Considering Foden is enough of a differential himself, just by owning him, you'll go up in the ranks if he does well. Whereas if Bruno does well and Foden doesn't, which is the much more likely way round it's going to go, then not captaining Bruno in that situation will likely, potentially see a red arrow. So that's the only thing in that team that I'd potentially look at changing. But I think the rest of that team, the defence looks nice. You've obviously got the two Man City defenders, which I'm very jealous of. But yeah, generally good team. Start Dallas, Sufal, or James. Reece James, I'm assuming. For me this week, it looks like a Dallas pick for me. Obviously, see, I've got Dallas in there. Newcastle for me they've been terrible, absolutely woeful of late. They can't score, they can't defend. Now that Saint Maximin is back, it looks like he's going to come back into the side. We could potentially see a little, a few more attacking returns from Newcastle. However, at the minute, I don't think Newcastle look very good. So not only do I think that Leeds probably stand the best opportunity of keeping a clean sheet, Dallas also stands very, very good opportunity to get some attacking returns in this game. So I'd be looking to play Dallas in this game. Sorry, I hope that helps. Play 2 out of Rafinha, Che Adams, Sufal, and Bowen. All interesting. I think I'd be going for the attackers in this situation, so I'm immediately going to remove Sufal from that because I personally like playing the attackers. Straight away, I think Rafinha against Newcastle is a sort of nailed for me out of those 4. Very likely to do something considering how poor Newcastle have been, as I've said. And then for me, it's between Che Adams and Bowen. Che Adams playing against Arsenal. Sorry, it's not a bad fixture. Not the best either. And now that Crystal Palace have lost James Tompkins due to some kind of injury, unfortunately, I am a Palace fan by the way, but I'll try not to be too biased in my answers, and this is probably me showing that by telling you should probably go with Rafinha, and Bowen is probably what I'd look to. Potentially, it's a bit of a 50-50 for me between Adams and Bowen. Definitely playing Rafinha, but I'd maybe lean towards Bowen. I hope that does help. David comes in with it. I'm unsure what to do with my strikers. I have Antonio, Kane, and Bamford, but I don't know. Should I swap them for my midfield? As my midfields are Grealish, Gundogan, Barnes, Son, Fernandes. My strikers, Antonio, Kane, and Bamford. Ooh, that's an interesting one. So you're basically asking, who should I play? Because you have 8 attackers there, so you're going to have to bench one of the attackers, and that's a really, really tough choice because the players out of that team I look to bench, probably it would be Gundogan, Barnes, and Antonio, because I really do think that Bamford is a must. Gundogan looks really good for Man City of late. He's sort of expected goals, unbelievable. So I'm going to kind of take him out because I do. Although the thing is, if Gundogan was 8 or 9 mil, would you be considering benching him? Is what I say, because at the minute his value for money is unbelievable, and people are potentially thinking about benching him just because he's a cheap asset, rather than the fact that he will actually most likely get some kind of attacking return. So the bench there for me is between Antonio and Barnes, and I think Antonio's looked so good lately. Without Jamie Vardy, I think Leicester are going to be a bit poorer going forward. So I'd potentially look at benching Barnes. But I think either way, it's a really tough decision because all those players look like they could get some kind of attacking return. So it could be that, you end up benching Barnes, he goes and scores, and Son blanks, who knows. But yeah, it's a tough decision. But I personally would lean towards Barnes, but very tough. Lyrical Santa comes in with Dallas for Mitchell from -4. Not for me. I don't think it's very, very sideways move. That -4 could pay off, obviously, if Dallas ends up getting an attacking return. But the thing is, Dallas, for that move to pay off, so for you to get any kind of gain in that move, Dallas would have to get a clean sheet and an attacking return. And we know Leeds' defence hasn't been too great of late. And if Mitchell goes and keeps a clean sheet, and you've done that, and then, Leeds end up conceding, I don't think, the likelihood is you keeping Mitchell is more likely, more often than not, to benefit you than you taking a -4 for Dallas. But, if you have a real good feeling that West Ham are going to score against Palace and wipe the Palace clean sheet out, and that, Leeds or Dallas can keep a clean sheet and get an attacking return, then go for it. But I'd probably not go for a -4 there. Gundogan or Rashford for De Bruyne. Already have Fernandes. Really tough one. I myself, as you can see there, have got Marcus Rashford. Although, there is the potential that he doesn't play. So if you're looking for a player who, could pop off, but there is, a reasonably high potential that he doesn't play, then go for Rashford, because you really have to just brave through that one. And yeah, if you think he's going to play, then I think Rashford would be the pick out of the two. But obviously the safer pick, and to be fair to him, a very, very good option for the coming game weeks. I think Gundogan looks good. So if you're forcing me to pick between the two right now, just because we are unsure about Rashford, whether he's going to start, I'd go for Gundogan. But, some news today coming out that Rashford could potentially play or feature in the Sheffield United game because he only got a small knock or small bruise on his knee. And actually, Rashford did train this morning, which may be of some interest to you guys. But yeah, if I was forced to push for a move, I think Gundogan looks good for this game and quite good long term as well with the double game weeks, potential double game weeks that Man City have got coming up. Hope that does help. Caspiano, my team is Martinez, De Gea, Stones, Cancelo, Dallas, Justin Soufal. That's a cracked up bench if I've ever seen one. Salah, Fernandes, Gundogan, Son, Grealish, Bamford, Antonio. You put Bamford, Antonio, Bamford, Watkins. Okay, yeah, Bamford, Antonio, Watkins. Wow, so you've got, I'm assuming that you've just bench boost in double game week 19, because that is a hell of a cracked kind of just general full team. So just breaking down that defence there, Stones is a start, Cancelo is a start, Dallas is a start, Justin and Soufal are maybes. That's what I'll leave that as for now. Martinez, De Gea or Martinez, De Gea for me. De Gea, I think Martinez is a great option, but that Sheffield side, the likelihood is Man United are more likely to keep a clean sheet, probably just than Villa, but I'd probably go for De Gea there. Salah, Fernandes, Gundogan, Son, and Grealish. I like all of those. I like them all. And then Antonio. Ooh, that's super tough. So I think at the minute what I'd be starting the three at the back with Cancelo, Stones, and Dallas. I'd play the five in the midfield, Bamford, and then one of Antonio or Watkins, because as I said before, I like playing the attacking players. That's tough. Watkins or Antonio, that's a flip of the coin, because Burnley, very, very solid. Aston Villa, very good going forward. You've got that combination of Grealish x Watkins. They could easily link up in that game. But at the same time, Crystal Palace, no Tompkins, haven't been too great defensively this season. Antonio seems like he's come back on good form. Honestly, flip a coin between Antonio and Watkins. I hope that does help. But I feel like I've narrowed that down fair enough for you. Probably put whoever you don't pick out of those two first on your bench, and then Justin second, Sufal third. Play Wood or Pedro Neto. Now, Wolves. Let me bring up the fixtures here, actually. Live fixtures. Here we go. A few fixtures on the screen here. So we've got Chelsea Wolves, Pedro Neto or Wood against Villa. I really like Chris Wood as a striker. Burnley are really kind of coming into their own. We don't know what's going on with Chelsea. Could they get a rejuvenation after Lampard's sack? I really don't know. I think Neto has been a really great asset so far this season. He's been popping off the goals. That's the only reason that would sway me towards Neto, is because we've seen him kind of get attacking returns this season. So I just realised that the chat isn't actually scrolling through on the thing. There we go. Nice. Let's get the chat up there. I'll leave that there for now. But play Wood or Neto. A part of me would want to play Wood in this game. A part of me would definitely want to play Wood in this game, but Neto looks good as well. That's a tough decision. I like the out-and-out attacker, so I'm leaning towards Wood. But IWC back in the chat with the lyrical spam. David De Gea or Martinez? I'd go for De Gea personally. Although, maybe a little bit of talk that Henderson plays, but I think De Gea will play. But if you want a really, really, really safe option of kind of, goalkeeper will definitely play Martinez, but I can see De Gea playing. Mohamed Rashford or Robertson to start. I go for Rashford. If he doesn't play, it's likely that he won't play at all because they'll just be resting him. And even if he does come off the bench of Sheffield, I think there's a high chance that he could do something. So Rashford start for me and Robertson first on the bench. Martial could be decent if he plays with Cavani. My man, Liam. Yeah, I know that's what I'm thinking. I wish I'd I made an early transfer this week, and my early transfer was Charlie Taylor to Tete. So that's one hell of a move. I'm not going to be making any more early transfers because I really, really, really want Martial for this week. But just with the potential that Rashford is going to play for Manchester United, I really wanted two Man United attacking assets this week. So if Rashford looked like he got injured, so I was going to bring in Martial to kind of cover that. But now that Rashford looks like he could play, I think that it means I don't have to take the -4, and Rashford will kind of take some attacking returns away from Martial as well. But I do, if you've got 3 transfers out there and you fancy a 1-week punt, I think Martial 100% is the guy to go for this week. And if you guys are looking at bringing in Rashford, maybe look at Martial just for the 1 week. But Antonio or Ayling, what are we thinking? Play the attacker every day of the week. I know it's a tough one against Palace, mate. I'm hot and cold with Antonio right now. I want to own him. I'm glad I don't against Palace, but then it's going to hurt if Antonio scores. That's for sure. And I know for sure that you're debating that move because it is Antonio against. But just if it was Antonio against, I don't know, Wolves or a similar team in our position, would you just try not to think of it as Palace? I know it's hard, but then again, Ayling against Newcastle, Leeds could keep a clean sheet, and I have heard that in this game he could be starting in more of a kind of wing back position, so he may actually get forward a little bit more. So that's definitely something to consider, but a hard decision for you there, I know for sure. Rashford or Son? I don't think you can miss out on the points of Son. Absolute baller. Yes, Rashford. It's one of them where if Rashford starts, I do think that he could outscore Son. But I don't think if Rashford is benched and then comes on, Son also has the potential. Very, very tough decision there. I lean towards Son just because, ownership. Definitely going to be starting. Scored against Liverpool in the reverse fixture. But Rashford, looks very good for this game week if he starts. And I'm really hoping that he will. IWC once again with the lyrics. Noel coming in, Bamford or Antonio, Sterling or Maddison or Gundogan. So Bamford or Antonio, Bamford straight away. Newcastle look terrible at the minute, and Leeds, bit of a rest. They should be ready to go, because that's what, Leeds have just had a week, just over a week off, when most teams have sort of played a second game in a double game week. So Leeds should be coming into this side fully rejuvenated. We know how Bielsa's side love to play with that kind of really high intensity. I think Leeds are going to be really up for it. And Newcastle have just looked stinky, haven't they? They've looked so poor of late. So yeah, for me, definitely go for Bamford. And then Sterling, Maddison or Gundogan. You're going to have to pick between one of those. That's a tough decision. Maddison, obviously on very, very good form of late. Having lost Jamie Vardy, though, it kind of steered me away from Leicester assets, I can't lie. And Everton as well. Everton look fully rejuvenated. I think a lot of Everton assets this week are going to go very much under the radar. Digne's back, Calvert-Lewin's back, Rodriguez is back, Richarlison's back. The main attacking threats. Coleman's back. I think Everton are going to be a real kind of threat, real good assets over the next kind of 5 or 6 game weeks. I'm looking personally to bring in Calvert-Lewin myself. But if I had to pick one of those two, probably Sterling, and that's mainly because of the price tag. If Gundogan was 11 mil and Sterling was 5, you'd probably lean towards Gundogan. So it's a tough choice, just because. But then Gundogan's on penalties, so I think straight away I've narrowed it hopefully down to 2. So basically, I think your choice is between Sterling or Gundogan, but. It's a tough one. I'm leaning towards the more premium asset, but solely because of the price. Gundogan could easily pop off, and obviously on penalties. Once again, as I say, flip a coin if you're unsure. Hopefully that does help. But Sterling, to be fair to him, actually, one other thing to say, he's been popping off on all of the kind of charts. He's up there with Bruno, up there with Son as well. In the last kind of 6 or 7 game weeks, had he not missed that penalty, who was I against? Might have been Brighton. Had he not missed a penalty anyway a couple of weeks back, he would have got an attacking return in every single one of the last 6 game weeks. So, Sterling potentially under the radar this week. I think great pick. Oh, plenty of chats coming in today. Almost 19, almost 20 of you in here. So if you're new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really does help me out. The support of late has been incredible. Obviously, hit the like button if you are enjoying the stream. We're on 7 likes right now, so if we could push that up to 10, that would be unbelievable. I appreciate the support, and let's try and roll through some of these questions. Plenty of them coming in. We've got 12 minutes until the deadline, so I'm just really going to try and rapid fire through these questions. Best replacement for Walker Peters. I don't know how long Walker Peters is out for. If you've got players to play this week, potentially just start them instead. Lob Walker Peters on the bench. If you can afford the move to Stones, I go to Stones. I think Walker Peters is about 4.8 mil. So if you've got a few more mil, maybe James Justin is a good idea. You could go a little bit lower. I've got Tete in there as well, although probably not really a move you really want to be making. If you want a 1 game week punch to a Dallas, but I don't think long term he's particularly great. It really depends, mate, if you've got players to play for this game week. I think other players kind of around that sort of price bracket. It's hard to be honest. Soufal obviously doesn't look too bad of an option. Got him on the bench there. Could easily get a clean sheet and doesn't have too bad fixtures coming up. There's sort of game week 23 and 24. Very good option. Soufal could be. I think West Brom don't have bad fixtures either. So Ajaya could look. Actually, no, West Brom play City this week. So this week Ajaya definitely not on the cards. But yeah, also if you don't have Tyreek Mitchell, 100. Get him in. Value for money. Unbelievable. Palace's fixtures, great. And also frees up some money. So Mitchell definitely a transfer that you could be making. Although, a bit of a luxury transfer if you need someone for this game week. Potentially look elsewhere. Maybe I don't mind Target at all. I really don't mind Target for Aston Villa. Aston Villa's defence has been really, really good. Got some decent fixtures coming up, so Target could be a good option as well. Bamford, Rashford, Salah, or Antonio, captain. Oh, I go Rashford. Don't know whether he's going to start though, so there's a problem there. Probably Bamford out of those four. I'm not going to lie. Antonio, kind of hot cold with him at the minute. Could score, could not. Salah obviously been poor form from of late. Scored a brace in the FA Cup game against Manchester United. Although I think Spurs are going to give them a hard game. And as I said, I think Newcastle are going to get battered tonight by Leeds. So I'd go for Bamford as a bit of a pump. I also think quite a calculated one. Grealish or Gundogan. Grealish all day long for me. You know, I think Grealish is an unbelievable player. Burnley, yes, they're a good side, but Aston Villa have been so good going forward. Seeing the statistics, get the words out. The statistics with Barkley when he's in that side, and the statistics for Grealish kind of getting attacking returns. With Barkley in that side is unbelievably good. He's sort of expecting an attacking return every single game. So yeah, Grealish for me. Who should I bring in for KDB? Oh my god, there's so many options. You're doing this to me 10 minutes before the deadline. So you've got Rashford if you want a punt. If you're feeling like he's going to play, get him in. Maddison, very good option for Leicester. Looks really, really good. If you want a 1-for-1 swap, you could go for Raheem Sterling as that 1-for-1. Or if you want to free up a bit of money, go for Gundogan. Go with your gut, mate, and hopefully it pays out for you. Yeah. Just go with who you think is going to be best. But I hope given a few options there. Maybe Grealish as well. It looks really, really good going forward. He's hit the 100 club in the past week. So I think Grealish is definitely going under a lot of people's radars. And it's still very good value for money. Caspiano, thanks for the tip. Just flip the coin. And I'm starting Antonio. Soufal, Justin and Martinez on the bench. Let's hope for a good game. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it, man. If you really, can't decide, just flip the coin. And, sometimes when you flip the coin, you go heads or tails, put the player on it, and then you should know, like, if you feel disappointed with the way that it's flipped, then in your gut, you know that you want to start the other player. But yeah, glad I could help, and hopefully that goes well for you. Obviously, it's a game of luck, and you're definitely playing by the luck there. Who should I bring in for KDB? Yeah, hopefully I've answered that for you there. Obviously, it's a tough one. Obviously, we're only 8 minutes until the deadline, so it's panic stations. But yeah, if you want the money, Gundogan, Maddison looks like a really good option for the coming game weeks. Sterling for a 1-for-1 swap to just go and quickly decide what you like. De Gea over Martinez for me. Yeah, I cannot see Man United conceding in the Sheffield game, especially with half of the Sheffield team out. Yeah, I really can't see them conceding. The only worry would be De Gea getting benched, but he started in like every single Premier League game, pretty much almost so far this season. Henderson had a little bit of a mare as well in the Liverpool game, so I think De Gea looks like a good option. You look like an Easter Island statue. Cheers. I don't know the... there you go. Yeah, it's IWC again. Dylan, who to start, Trent or Watkins? Watkins for me, the attacker. Go for the attacker. Trent's been really, really poor of late. We could even see a benching from Trent. You never know. He's been really, really poor for Liverpool. So, yeah, Watkins, go for the attacker. Zaha out for Foden or Gundo. I don't think, there's any particular need to take Zaha out. I'm not going to lie. He's got really, really good fixtures coming up. If you look at his next kind of 6 or 7 fixtures, I think he looks like a really good option. So to be honest with you, I actually don't think there's a need to take him out. I think that he, very much stands a chance of scoring against West Ham tonight. A lot of people have been saying that they think that West Ham will concede now that Zaha's back. So yeah, I don't see. I see both of those moves as very sideways moves. Especially the Foden one. You could take out Zaha. Zaha goes and scores. Foden gets benched. Not great. So for me, I'd be holding on to Zaha for the coming fixtures. Obviously, if you are looking for a bit of money, then Gundogan's obviously not a bad move. So out of the two, if you're really pushing me to pick, if you're set on the idea of Zaha going, then I'd go for Gundogan over Foden every day of the week on penalties. It looks like he's going to start every game, especially now that De Bruyne is out. Robertson, Adams or Holding for this week. Che Robert. Oh, that's a hard one. No holding. Definitely not holding. So it's between Robertson and Abbott and Adams. Maybe flip the coin. This could be a flip of the coin. Although, you know, Che Adams, an attacker. Now that Danny Ings is back, we could see Che Adams get some attacking returns. So I personally am always going to lean towards advising picking the attacker. But because Robertson, you know, is such an attacking fullback, that is a hard decision. But I do see Spurs scoring, and with Danny Ings back, I could potentially see Southampton scoring. So I would lean towards starting Che Adams. But as I say, could very well be a sort of a flip of the coin between Robertson and Adams. And yeah, as I said, if you really don't know, flip that coin and you'll decide who you want. Cancelo or Bruno captain? You think Bruno every day of the week. Bruno every day of the week. Some people are trying to go way too Maverick this week. It's not the week to go Maverick. Because everybody is captaining Bruno, people are thinking, oh, I have to captain someone different. You know, having players like Cancelo, it may seem like he's highly earned because a lot of the active FPL community do own him. But the thing is, not that many people overall actually own him. So they're kind of enough of differentials in themselves. Whereas Bruno Fernandes just looks so good for this week. If you don't captain him and he does well, you're going to get a red arrow, simple as that. And obviously, if he doesn't do well, then it's just, oh well, everyone else hasn't capped him. You know, other players did well. But I think it'll be a lot worse for you if Bruno did well and you didn't have him captained, rather than, you know, he didn't do well and you had him captain. So yeah. Or you sorry, it'll be worse if you captain Cancelo and Cancelo didn't do well and Bruno did well. So just think about it, but yeah, definitely Bruno captain for me. Smith Rowe or Soufal? Is Smith Rowe going to continue playing for Arsenal? Well, they've just brought in Martin Odegaard. Could we see him start? Although Smith Rowe is very likely to play. In fact, I lean towards Smith Rowe though. It's a hard one because Smith Rowe is such a cheap asset. But has been playing really well for Arsenal of late. I do think West Ham are going to concede tonight, so my gut would be leaning towards Smith Rowe for that one, but a very tight decision. Dallas, Dawson, Grealish for me every day of the week. The attacking player could easily go get a goal, assist. Dallas, I will say Dallas looks really good for this week. But, you know, with how Leeds do defend, you can see them conceding maybe just one goal, even if they score a bunch. So Dallas could pick up an assist or a goal even tonight, but could easily consist. Whereas Grealish looks like such a good option. So I think Grealish every day of the week for me. Can we get a pick? Prayer to the FPL gods for us all to get a good game. Yeah, man, cheesy bum. I hope so. I really hope so. Once again, I forgot. I'm on the wrong page. The chat needs a scrolling. Quick. 2 minutes until the deadline. Oh, God. Let me quickly, before I need to check I've done everything right in my own team. Jesus. Bruno Fernandes captain. Yes. Soufal first on the bench. Perfect. Everything looks good. Screenshot that team, ready to put in the group chat. Now quickly, let me roll through these questions. Hopefully I'm not too late. Kane and Smith Rowe or Son and Watkins. Son and Watkins, I'd go with. I think Watkins looks really good for the coming weeks. And yeah, Son and Watkins. Should I start Robbo or James Justin? James Justin for me. Konsa or Soufal? Oh my God. Aston Villa has Konsa been playing? I don't know if Konsa has been playing. So if Konsa has been playing, hopefully you know that. Then start Konsa. But if he hasn't been playing, then start Soufal. Soufal or Dallas? Dallas. Get Dallas. Yeah, honestly, mate, with the Konsa or Soufal, I don't know whether Konsa has actually been starting. Hopefully you do know that because you own him. But if he hasn't been starting Soufal, if he has, go for Konsa. 2 to bench, Chilwell, Creswell or Dallas. Chilwell, Creswell every day of the week. Dallas, Newcastle, great fixture. Really good potential attacking returns. Obviously, Chilwell and Creswell could do very well themselves. So I think either way, you know, you could lose out. No matter who you pick there is a likelihood that one of the other 2 players is going to do better than the person you pick. But I personally would lean towards Dallas because of how poor Newcastle have been. Leeds have had the rest, bombing forward in the Leeds attack. Yeah, I'd lean towards Dallas. I hope that has helped, guys. Let me know what you've done in the comments down below. Obviously, we've had some very, very last minute decisions. Everyone in the chat going a bit ham. We've got a minute until the deadline, and by my watch, that is the deadline reached. So if you are new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We're on 14 likes, so quickly get that up to 15. That would be absolutely wonderful. Just see FPL Penguin hopping in the chat there. Good to see you, mate. How you doing? I caught your on Booner's stream earlier, so yeah, very much enjoyed that. You know what? Let me just let me do this. Boom. FPL Penguin. And let me see if I can find. Yeah, it's good to see you, mate. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Man, I'm really hoping for a good game week this week. Yeah, everyone's teams are locked. Good luck, everyone, for this game week. I mean, jeez. I'm after what was, I don't know if many of you guys saw my game week 19 double game week, but it was pretty abysmal to say the least. So I'm really hoping for a good game week this week. I mean, geez, I mean, I'll bring my team back up. Obviously now Rashford has actually moved off of the yellow flag, so it looks like he will play. So I'll have Soufal in for Vardy. I'm a Palace fan, so you know it'll pain me a little bit, but yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. You only live once. So yeah, this week I'm just looking to have a bit of fun with the game. That's why I was potentially going to bring in Martial, but now that we've got the news on Rashford, double Manchester United, I think this week could go well for me. Tete very much going under the radar. Oh, so thanks, mate. Yeah, no worries, man. I've enjoyed coming onto your stream. So yeah, it's good to see you here, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you, Boona, and plenty of others about FPL and all that is football over the next few weeks. But I think I'm going to sign off there, get myself psyched up, try and calm down the nerves before this Crystal Palace versus West Ham game. Hopefully Mitchell, assist, clean sheet, not too much to ask, I don't think. Not too much to ask. But if you have enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're new, hit the like button, and I'll see you around.